What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and typically I don't really like to feature recent Community Day Pokemon on this channel because everyone and their mums will be showcasing them, and the majority of those content creators will also very easily outpace me to uploading their features. I mean, Yonkers and Homesize Henry typically get their videos out before 90% of the world have even played the Community Day, so there's no competing with that. But I'll be honest, I've really been struggling to come up with content ideas recently, and also I tried live streaming last night, which went horribly since my new phone just didn't want to cooperate with the screen mirroring software. Also, shout out to Alan who donated $10, and sorry you only got to see half of the 2 battles that I did, but at this point I'm thinking I really need to put out a video. And Primeape and Annihilate, they're the obvious options, but I'm thinking what can I possibly use as a third Pokemon to make this team as unique and entertaining as possible. But then I remembered I caught a very decent IV Shadow Mankey, unfortunately after the Team Rocket event, so it still had frustration, but as a purified Pokemon it finally gives Mankey its first non-fighting type charge move, so I figured I'd just run the full evolution line. Now obviously Primeape and Annihilate are both very strong now. A lot of people are hunting these 2 Pokemon, so it was a very difficult team to run, but I pulled off some absolutely insane wins with this team. So with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. Which previous Community Day move would you like to see added to the move pool of the middle stage evolution of that featured Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, leading Shadow Primeape into Wigglytuff. So this is probably the worst lead we could possibly see here, but I'm just going to go and full send that close combat. Technically, should have gone for 1 extra karate chop there, but close combat goes unshielded for some reason, and it literally puts them into perfect counter farm down range where we don't even take a single charm's worth of damage. That's huge for us. We also get a slight energy advantage, meaning I'm going to make it to back-to-back Rage Fist before this Talonflame makes it to back-to-back charge moves. So, of course, I'm going to shield the Flame Charge. I will be able to go for 4 counters here and throw a Rage Fist just before the opponent makes it to the next Flame Charge. Rage Fist goes unshielded, we're boosted, so that gets them very low to the point where actually Mankey can probably come in and get a Karate Chop farm down. So we let the lineup go down, they come in with the Dunsparce, and I throw on such poor timing. Honestly, Dunsparce trips me up every single time. The rollout animation is like 1 turn behind what it should be, so whilst it looks like I'm throwing on good timing, I actually end up throwing on alignment, and that might just be costly for us. This time we throw it on much better timing, going for 4 Karate Chops, but the Cross Chop does not get the KO. Mankey, I need you to live a drill run here. We just barely hang on. They swap back into Talonflame, going for the snipe with the Incinerate, but Mankey, super spammy, gets to the Cross Chop. We live the rollout damage, and 2 Karate Chops from the Mankey takes out that Dunsparce, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there. Into next battle, we're going to see Azumarill in the lead, and honestly this is actually kind of a crazy matchup for us here. We can go for 4 Karate Chops, go for a Rage Fist instantly here, and the opponent still not even at the play rough there. I'm able to outpace them to another Rage Fist, and at this point we grab a shield advantage with our Shadow Primeape. I'm just going to shield this up here. The opponent's going to go and fire off the play rough there. We can go for 1 extra Karate Chop, go for another Rage Fist. We are double boosted at this point. Rage Fist grabs a shield, and they come in with Annihilate looking to go for a counter snipe, but we're able to make it to another Rage Fist, get the full on 1 shot up against Annihilate, and the opponent just not having it anymore, giving up completely, and we're able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there. Into the next battle, we're going to see Primeape into a Gastrodon, and again just going straight for close combat here. Close combat does huge damage, it doesn't quite one-shot them, so again maybe should have gone for the extra Karate Chop there and tried to throw it on CMP, but either way we can swap into Annihilate, catch the Body Slam, and we actually end up winning CMP up against this Shadow for Alligator. Now I'll be honest, I haven't played really Annihilate at all, and definitely not Shadow for Alligator, so I don't know who usually wins CMP here, although that did surprise me. But either way, gonna let the Hydro Cannon go through, gonna come in with my Mankey, and if the opponent overfarms here or thinks they can win CMP, then they are going to be in for a Cross Chop here. Cross Chop actually gets the KO, but they've got their own Annihilate in the back, and if the opponent knows the moveset here, which I mean they probably won't, but either way they probably should just no shield anyways, Cross Chop is double resisted. Even if we made it to a return, that's also double resisted, so at this point there's nothing we can do. Rage Fist gonna boost up their attack there. They would just be able to fully counter farm me down if I shielded, so I just let the move go through. So GG's to opponent there, not a lot we could have done. But into the next battle, gonna see the opponent swapping into their own Primeape, so we're gonna stay in. Of course we do have the slight energy advantage advantage as it takes 1 turn to swap out, and because we've landed the Rage Fist, we put them into Karate Chop farm down range. So of course, gonna shield up their own Rage Fist. They come in with a Feraligatr, and I can make it to back-to-back Rage Fists before the opponent can even throw a charge juice. So first one grabs that first shield, we can throw another Rage Fist. We are double boosted at this point. It's gonna grab the final shield. We now swap into Mankey. The opponent over farms, and again Mankey winning CMP up against Feraligatr. Cross chop barely doesn't get the KO, but it doesn't really matter. At this point, the damage is done. We can come in with Annihilate. I think this is actually the safe play, of course. I'd come in with Primeape, and they could throw here and waste their energy, but if I came in with Primeape, the opponent holds onto the energy and then swaps into their Fortress, then maybe we'd be in a spot of bother. But because we do that, we've got the energy advantage, there's nothing they can do there, so they just concede the match. So GG to opponent there into next battle. Gonna see Primeape into a Whiscash. So again, I'm just gonna go straight for close combat. Honestly, I probably didn't play Primeape very well here, but we go for the nuke. That does big damage. It honestly does slightly less damage than I was hoping for in a lot of matchups. So unfortunately, I just let the Primeape go down there. If we just went straight Rage Fist there, then we could have probably won the one shield scenario maybe. I don't know. But either way, we're gonna come in with Annihilate. We're gonna fake like we've got Ice Punch there. So I'm always gonna overfarm to 1 over the Rage Fist. The opponent throws as we get to another Rage Fist here. I'm going to shield this, and if the opponent shields again, they've probably got something weak to fighting in the back. So we go for Rage Fist number 2, we grab both shields here, and we are going to commit to another Rage Fist. Unfortunately, even though we're double boosted, it's not going to do that much damage. I will have to swap into my Mankey, and the opponent will throw just before we make it to the charge move. But at this point, I know I can overfarm with the Mankey. The opponent is actually going to swap into a Ferrothorn, and that's huge for us. We're at back-to-back charge moves. They've only gone for 3 Bullet Seeds, so I can go for 1 extra Karate Chop, go for the cross chop here, and I should still be able to outpace that Altaria to the next charge move. We're only 3 away. They come back in, and we're able to make it to another cross chop. Mankey, incredibly spammy. Cross chop gets the KO, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's top opponent there into next battle. We're going to see Shadow Primeape into Gastrodon. So last time we went and full sent the close combat. Are we going to do this exact same thing here? It looks like we are, and we also wait 1 turn there, waiting for the Mind Slap damage to register, but this time it gets the full-on one-shot. We're going to swap out into Annihilate, and I'm just going to go straight for a Rage Fist here. Of course, we could go for the extra counters, but I want to throw my charge move first, and the opponent actually no-shields that. I don't think I will outpace them to the next charge move though, but I'm thinking with that Rage Fist damage, hopefully we put them into farm down range if we start getting some boosts on my Primeape. So we're going to come in with the Primeape. Unfortunately, they do outpace us to this charge move, so of course, going to shield this. Honestly, I didn't expect them to shield this, so I go for 1 Karate Chop. That way, I don't take the Incinerate damage, but they do shield, so that's probably a huge mistake on my end. I still think I've put them into farm down range, but they go for a fly, and they're going to come in with their own Primeape, and unfortunately, Mankey just not going to live this very comfortably. They go for Rage Fist. We don't live it very well, so I can't go for back-to-back cross chops. Instead, I go for the return, going for the kill shot, but of course, they can just safely shield that up, go for a Karate Chop farm down, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there into next battle. The opponent's going to safe swap into a Drapion. I'm going straight for close combat once again, not baiting, full sending the nuke, and this time it goes unshielded, fully one-shotting the Drapion. They come in with a Toxapex, and I think that's just going to be game over now. We can come in with our Annihilate, of course, resisting the Poison Jab damage. This Brine isn't going to hit very hard either, so I'm going to no-shield this. The opponent actually goes for a Sludge Wave for some reason. I don't have a clue why. And they've instantly realized there's nothing they can do now, so they just concede the match. So GG's top opponent there into the next battle, another Azumarill in the lead. So once again, going straight for Rage Fist here. There's no point over farming because Rage Fist is going to boost up my attack, so I might as well boost it up as soon as I possibly can. This time they're just going to go straight for an Ice Beam here, which wouldn't take us out, but I think I'm going to shield anyways because we've seen already Primeape can absolutely get out of hand here if we shield the first charge move here, go for another Rage Fist, and now we're going to go for a 3rd Rage Fist. Rage Fist will, of course, get the KO here if they no shield, which they do, but they've got a Decidueye in the back, and this is honestly very troublesome for us. Rage Fist is, of course, going to be shielded. We swap into Annihilate. They can go straight for a Spirit Shackle here. I'm hoping they don't drop our defense, and they don't, but it doesn't really matter better. They will outpace me before I'm able to make it to back-to-back Rage Fist. So Rage Fist grabs the shield. We do, of course, boost our attack, but boosted counters mean absolutely nothing up against a Ghost type. They go for another Spirit Shackle, get the KO there, and Mankey just can't really do anything up against Ghost types. We've only got double resisted moves. I am able to make a very nice catch, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough for me. A Spirit Shackle gets the KO. I'm going to full send the return just for the sake of it, to see how much damage it does for science reasons. Return doesn't get the KO there. They can go for a full Astonish farm down, taking out the Mankey, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there, into next battle, a much better lead for us. The opponent's going to say swap into Clodsire, so I'm actually going to go straight for a Rage Fist here. Possibly should have overfarmed by 1 and maybe faked like I've got Ice Punch, but either way, they're not going to shield a Clodsire, so we are going to swap now into Annihilate. I basically just chipped there because I know Annihilate is going to struggle a little bit to actually take out the Clodsire here, because of course counter is resisted. Rage Fist going to boost up our attack, of course, but it doesn't help me that much here. And this one, I'm still not going to be able to go for a full counter farm down. So I shield, they go for an Earthquake again there. I think Sludge Bomb probably would take us out from this range, but maybe not, I don't know. Either way, we go for another Rage Fist there, and the opponent comes in with Dunsparce. Honestly, I thought I overfarmed enough to make it to a close combat here, but I guess I was just one shot. So we go for Rage Fist. The opponent actually calls that, I guess, realizing Dunsparce is kind of useless up against my team, so they're going to sacrifice it anyways, and they come in with their own Primate. So this is going to be tricky. Of course, we do have a slight energy advantage, but we are down a shield. So at this point, I'm going to shield this, and then I'm going to swap into my Mankey, hoping, even though they're boosted, we can just barely live the Karate Chop damage and a Rage Fist and make it to a Cross Chop. The opponent goes for Rage Fist, and Mankey just barely hangs on. We go for a Cross Chop. We're actually going to go for an undercharge here because we don't want the opponent, well, we don't want to take out the opponent and then farm them down with their Dunsparce and come out with a charge move. So instead, we go for an undercharge. They actually shield anyways, and that's going to be game over because we're now boosted. Even a double resisted Rage Fist, non-stab, since we're boosted, gets the KO up against the Dunsparce, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's top opponent there, into next battle, going to see a Clodsire in the lead. So I think, again, we're going to stay in initially, maybe fire off a Rage Fist, but no, actually, just going to bank the energy, swap into Annihilate. Annihilate, definitely the bulkiest Pokemon on this team. They go for an Earthquake, and as well, of course, we do resist Poison. So the Poison Stings, they're really not adding up here. And they're probably going to have to throw another Earthquake to get the KO here. So I might just fully sacrifice the Annihilate here, realizing they will outpace me to the next charge move before I can, of course, go for 2 more Rage Fists and get that KO. So instead, going to let it go down, come back in with the Primate. We've got back-to-back Rage Fists already, so we're going to fire off the first one. Rage Fist does some decent damage. It boosts up our attack. We go for a slight overfarm again, go for another Rage Fist, taking out the Clodsire, and let's see what the opponent wants to do. They're going to come in with their own Primate, but we are already loaded. We're already double boosted. Rage Fist grabs that shield from the opponent. At this point, I might as well just keep on shielding. We're triple boosted at this point, so they're of course going to have to shield the next charge move. If they commit to a full farm down, we are going to get them very low with the quad boosted Karate Chop damage, and we put them into range where Mankey can come in here, shield up the Rage Fist, go for a Karate Chop farm down there, and now of course they've got something weak to the fighting typing in the back. Unfortunately for them, this Dugong had nowhere to run. We can go for back-to-back Cross Chops before they're even able to make it to the Icy Wind. Cross Chop number 2 gets the KO, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's top opponent there, into the next battle. We're going to see Primate up against Primate in the lead here. So we're going to stay in this matchup. We're going to go for a Rage Fist straight away. And since they don't throw, I'm actually going to swap into my Annihilate, which seems like a weird decision. Of course, we're now going to take super effective damage rather than just neutral damage. And we also cleared the boost that we just gained there. But of course, they're going to hit for double resisted fast move damage. So I'm just going to shield the next charge move here. These counters are seriously chunking. I'm going to fire for Rage Fist just before they make it to the next charge move. They're going to double shield their Primate. So at this point, I'm thinking, you know what, we might as well double shield our Annihilate as well. Go for the boosted counter farm down, and the opponent comes in with Ariados. So I'm going to throw just before they make it to the charge move, but they're actually running Cross Poison here. Cross Poison resisted, but it gets the KO, and not only that, it also gets the boost, and that is huge for the opponent. Not ideal for us, because now, unfortunately, a Cross Poison will be taking out both my Mankey and my Primate. I do make it to the Rage Fist, but that definitely does not put them into Cross Shot range, so Cross Poison gets the KO. They don't get another boost, but at this point the damage is done. I'm going to go for the overfarm here, hoping we can live a boosted Cross Poison, but Mankey, incredibly glassy, it does not live that boosted Cross Poison, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to the opponent there. That is the benefit of running a slightly outdated move, is that I just obviously wasn't expecting them to make it to a charge move after just 4 Poison Stings. But into the next battle, we see a safe swap into Mana Buzz. The close combat does huge damage here. I'm going to shield this. I realize I don't really need switch advantage, but I might as well swap out here, bank the energy, and then come in with my Annihilate, which I know of course can tank an Aerial Ace pretty comfortably. Go for the counter farm down. The opponent is going to come in with their Alolan Sand Slash. Now, I probably should have just gone straight for close combat. It's very clear they're going to just fully sacrifice it, but the opponent doesn't shield, but they also don't throw a charge move either, and I understand why they needed the fast speed damage from that Sand Slash, because they've only got double resisted Karate Chops. But it's game over here. We can come in with the Mankey. I know I can live a Rage Fist. They have to go for close combat to get the KO, and if they do that, then of course they double debuff their defense. It's game over. So we go for a cross chop here. We can now snipe with the Shadow Primate. Should have gone for the close combat just for the BM, but either way, Rage Fist gets the KO. I'm able to take out the opposing Primate, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there. Into the next battle, another Primate mirror match. So again, we're going to stay in here, going to go and fire off that Rage Fist immediately, and the opponent throws straight away, winning CMP as well, so not ideal for us. I'm going to no shield this, go for the Rage Fist, and depending on what they do here, if the opponent shields, I'm going to swap into my Annihilate, and of course they are boosted, so I will respect the damage from the Rage Fist here. I should still be able to live this, but I might as well shield here. And the opponent swaps into a Toxapex. So this is huge for me. This is where Annihilate can just get out of hand in the matchups where actually they're resisting the counter damage, but we're also resisting their damage, because now we can just boost our attack again with another Rage Fist. I can just safely no shield to Brian. Brian not going to do much damage whatsoever, and I will still be able to outpace them to the next charge move. I overfarm just by 1 counter, throw on the CMP. We go for Rage Fist. Rage Fist gets the triple boost. We get the counter farm down, and whatever's in the back does not want to see a triple boosted Annihilate, so the opponent just concedes the match. So GG's to opponent there, into the next battle, and these were some of the first battles I did. I ran Annihilate in the lead initially because I was thinking, might as well run it like an ABB style team with a sort of ghost fighting type in the lead and then just 2 pure fighting types in the back. But I quickly realized that actually the shield pressure of Primeape, or just being able to get to those Rage Fists and close combats incredibly fast, was actually very useful for the team. So here you can see, unfortunately we lose CMP here. With the Primeape in the lead, we would have made it to back-to-back Rage Fists and either grabbed a shield advantage or 1 switch advantage there. But either way, we come in with the Primeape, we get the boost with the Rage Fist, we go for another Rage Fist into Azumarill coming in. And of course, we're going to be double boosted now. So even though it's resisted damage, I'm going to commit to a close combat, and this is going to do huge damage to the Azu. So the opponent uses their final shield. We now come in with the Mankey. We're of course gonna have to shield this up. The opponent base with an Ice Beam, which is unfortunate for us. We're gonna commit to the return, and we are just barely able to get there. Is this enough damage to get the KO? Return does take out the Azumarill. They've got Ferrothorn in the back, but unfortunately this cross chop just isn't gonna be enough damage here. So cross chop does big damage there. I'm not able to swap out just yet, so the opponent will make it to the Power Whip. Power Whip gets the KO, and unfortunately 1 Bullet Seed takes out the Primate from that range, and we do lose that game. But GG's top over there. Into the next battle, going to see a Gastrodon in the lead. So this is a somewhat positive matchup for us. Of course, they have to full send an Earth Power to do any meaningful damage with the charge trees. Body Slam is double resisted and just not that great of a move anymore. So I'm just going to play it safe here. If I shield this and they bait with a Body Slam, they're only making it to another Body Slam anyways. But we play it safe. We use the shield there. We get the full counter farm down. We are boosted. And let's see. The opponent's going to come in with a Talonflame. So we go for 2 counters. Go for a Rage Fist here. Rage Fist is going to be shielded. We go for, well, I might have gone for another counter there and thrown a charge move, but instead we actually swap into our Shadow Primeape. We fire off the Rage Fist. Rage Fist grabs the final shield from the opponent, so we're going to shield this as the opponent goes for another fly there with the Talonflame. I'm able to make it to another Rage Fist on the Shadow Primeape. Rage Fist does big damage, and the opponent is forced to throw their energy because actually we might have been able to get a Karate Chop farm down. Now we can come in with our Mankey. We've been in a similar situation before. Mankey gonna go for the full farm down. down, and the opponent does not swap out. They've got Dunsparce in the back, and this is going to be game over. We've got a 4 Karate Chop energy advantage, which means I'm easily able to make it to back-to-back cross chops. The second cross chop will be enough damage to take out the Dunsparce, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there into the next battle, Annihilate into Clodsire. So this is a good matchup, well, somewhat good matchup for us, of course. Both going to be resisting the fast move damage. We're just going to go straight for Rage Fist here. Maybe should have farmed up to a potential Ice Punch there, but either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to no-shield this as Annihilate, as I've mentioned before. It's definitely the bulkiest Pokemon on this team. They're going to swap into a Shadow for Alligator now. Unfortunately, I do take 2 turns to swap out there, so they're able to outpace me to the first charge move, but I can now reach back-to-back Rage Fists before the opponent makes it to back-to-back Hydro Cannon. So first one grabs the shield, the second one we get there on the CMP tie. Rage Fist is going to be no-shielded by the opponent. They come back in with Clodsire, and for some reason I don't throw a charge move. What on earth am I thinking here? They go for a Sludge Bomb. I guess I was probably just expecting a Stone Edge, so it would have been one more Poison Sting, but either way, I'm now going to throw a Close Combat on the CMP tie here, because I'm just going to put all my faith into my Mankey in the back here. We've already made a mistake. We need Mankey to clutch up this game. They come in with a Primeape, and unfortunately, I just don't think I'm going to deal enough damage to get the KO here. They no-shield the Cross Chop. It does decent damage, but can we get a Karate Chop farm down in just 4 fast moves? It's close, but we're not able to do so. They live with about 2 HP remaining. We also lose CMP here. I was hoping maybe I could throw it on CMP, KO through the shield, but either way, even if we did win CMP, I think they had several HP there, so they wouldn't have got KO'd, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Shadow Marowak in the lead. So because we are running Annihilate in the lead here and not Primeape, they will outpace us to that first charge move. I'm going to full send the Close Combat. It gets the KO. I'm going to swap immediately into my Primeape, and they come in with their own Primeape. But of course, we swapped out. We are now 1 turn behind, so it's a little bit awkward for us. I'm going to shield, and they come in with a Clodsire. So, of course, not ideal for us as they can sponge the energy, but Shadow Primeape just doesn't really care here. We're going to shield this up, and then going to go for back-to-back Rage Fists before they make it to the next Sludge Bomb, and we should actually be in a fairly decent position here. So we're going to go for that Rage Fist. Rage Fist is no shielded once again. We can go for another Rage Fist, and the opponent here is he's actually not going to shield for some reason. We are now triple boosted. I don't bother throwing a charge move, there's no point. The opponent goes for a Rage Fist, but I can just safely come in with my Mankey and go for these Karate Chops here. The opponent has to throw a charge move to get rid of us, but my Annihilate is just too healthy here. They're not going to make it to back-to-back moves. They actually go for Close Combat, meaning 1 counter gets the KO, and for some reason, I don't know why they didn't shield there, but I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there into the final battle of this video, Annihilate into an opposing Annihilate. We're going straight for Rage Fist. It looks like we actually win CMP here, so Rage Fist is going to be no-shielded. It definitely makes sense to no-shield the first charge move here, because of course we're going to boost our attack, so I'm also going to no-shield. I should win CMP once again. I expect the opponent to try and make a catch, but they actually don't. They stay in with the Annihilate. We go for Rage Fist, number 2, getting the KO there, and the opponent's going to come in with a Drifblim, which is definitely not ideal for us. Drifblim, definitely one of the most problematic Pokemon for this team, especially when they still got 2 shields in play. So I'm definitely going to have to shield this up here. I'm hoping they can't Astonish Farm me all the way down. They go for the Icy Wind here. We're going to throw on good timing. Please, Primeape, make it to another Rage Fist. Rage Fist grabs the shield, and we do just barely hang on. We make it to another Rage Fist. Rage Fist doesn't get the KO though, and it doesn't really put them into Karate Chop farm down range either, because they triple resist it, but they swap out into Talonflame, and here, this is a mistake. I go for the return. Honestly, didn't know how much damage this was going to do, but return does huge damage, and it actually doesn't quite put them into Karate Chop farm down range for me to get 4 Karate Chops in. I needed 4, but we only get 3, and I tried to catch the move there. Unfortunately, I think if I tried to throw anyways, we would have just been Astonished Farm down there. But unfortunately, Drifblim takes us out, and we do lose that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.